All right. So you can start by standing. Traditionally, it is standing form or sitting. The most important part is that your spine is erect so that you are the channel between the cosmos into the top of your head, your crown chakra, and then from the earth into the root of your feet. Um, if you're in a chair, you want to be slightly forward so that your spine is straight up and down. You want your head not tilted forward or back. So they often will say your chin is level, but most people have a perception and will lift their head too high. The tip of your tongue, if it feels comfortable, is just lightly touching the top of your palate, and this creates the microcosmo within us. So the dumai running up your spine will then attach to the conception vessel coming up the front of your body, and you'll have this circuit running through. And then we just relax. So again, top of your head is open as the energy from the cosmos flows in, and the bottom of your feet, the bubbling spring, connecting to the earth. And just take a few deep breaths, letting go of everything else that's going on. It's an amazing, foggy, still, quiet, serene morning. So I feel like I'm just encased in this stillness and the quiet. Very different from a few weeks ago when we had the east wind blowing. And feel that connection. So again, if you're sitting, you want to be in a chair with your feet touching the ground. And so that connection to the earth. In Qigong, we want that connection to the earth. So we're a conduit. And you're sending roots down. You actually have 3 roots. So the bottom of your feet are sending roots, and then your tailbone. So your tailbone is sending another root. So you're like a stool, that a 3-legged stool, and your knees are lightly bent. They're not locked, and your pelvis is such that you're kind of sitting just gently right on the edge of a chair, and that allows your tailbone to connect with the earth, and that allows a lot of people to have a lot more stability. And so sending your roots deep into the earth, deep into the crystalline nature, connecting to all of life. And with each breath, just letting go a little bit more. Allowing anything you've brought in with you to just melt down your legs and into the earth. The earth knows what to do with it, to transform it back into that wonderful, beautiful chi that nurtures all of life. And at the same time, the crown of your head is open as you're allowing the cosmic flow. Some people feel the light. It can be white, silver, golden, any color you're feeling, and it's flowing into you. If you feel your roots are connected, you can give them a little bit of an energetic tug so that the flow is also coming up from the earth into your body. Meeting in your lower dantian, the area below your belly button. And as you're breathing, if you're taking a full inhale, you'll feel your lower dantian expanding. Ideally, you're only breathing through your nose, but if you have to open your mouth, that is okay. And sometimes initially it's nice to breathe and exhale through the mouth, to just sigh as you allow anything you brought in with you to just melt off. And today I thought a really nice word or intention, you can set your own intention for your practice. Last week was Valentine's weekend. This weekend, I thought the word peace, at peace within us, that if we can learn to abide in the peace within us, then we will send that peace out also around us. Just take a few breaths. You can place your hand on your heart, or you can just have them loosely at your sides. As you just breathe in the peace into your heart. And from your heart will send that peace to every cell in your body. If there's any place that's not quite feeling the peace, just allow that to melt down. It can melt off your fingertips into the earth, out the bottom of your feet. And as we begin the movements, just really gently, you start with our arms. And we allow them to float on the clouds. We're not rushing. First few, just do really gentle, allowing your body to move with your breath. And so as you're lifting on the chi cloud, you're inhaling. There's that pause at the top of your breath. As you slowly allow your hands to come down, you're exhaling. And again, there's a pause as you float up again. And just feeling that peace, the stillness within the movement, the stillness at the transitions. If your hands don't want to go high because your shoulders don't want to go, that's okay. You can keep it down. Your elbows are lightly bent. And remember that you're smiling. If your face muscles are relaxed, you'll have that beautiful, pleasant Buddha smile. So inhaling as you lift up, inhaling the peace within, and exhaling the peace all around you as you lower. I think that was 9. And so on this one, as you bring your hands up, we're going to open our heart to what is. So we open our arms and bring them back in and lower. So opening on the mountaintop. And so you can envision you're on the highest mountain. You can be at the beach, wherever calls you in nature. You can be in a forest, be in a beautiful garden, and you're opening to the chi of the new day. Or just standing watching the sunrise. And I do arch my body just very slightly as I open up. And my gaze moves upward. And the full movement, the inhale, you would still be inhaling. And then the transition to the exhale as you close and slowly lower your arms. But if that's too long of a breath, then you can do An inhale on the lifting and an exhale as you open up, opening your heart to what is. And then another inhale and an exhale. Just wherever you are is good. And you can keep the movement there where you're just opening up and absorbing the sunlight, the fresh air from the mountaintop. Or after a couple of movements of opening up, you can start expanding your heart, which you do want to do. And since we're focusing on peace, you can expand your heart to send the peace and serenity. Start out small, sending it within your home. And with each opening up, you can expand that sense of peace further out around you. So that you're sending the peace to your neighborhood or your apartment building. And then sending that peace to all in your community. Again, with this foggy morning, the green layer, it's just very calm and peaceful. And sending that calming peace. If there's a specific person in your life who could use some extra peace, you can think of them. Or you can just send peace to our whole nation and then peace to our whole beautiful planet. And on this last one, after you open up, you're bringing it back into yourself, and you'll give yourself an embrace of gratitude and love and compassion. So your arms cross at your heart, your hands will be just below your shoulders. You're actually crossing just below the wrist. And so that's actually a very powerful acupressure point for the heart. You can stay here a few more breaths of gratitude. We're going to transition into the rainbow. And so your hands drop down and one of your arms will come up above your head. And you're carrying a rainbow. So your palms are always facing towards each other as you're carrying the rainbow. Your arms are rounded. And if you can't lift your arms high, you can just rock back and forth, just really gently. But if you want a full movement, your lower hand will drop to the level of your knee, and you can spread your legs out even more. And so one of your knees will bend as you're dropping to the other one. So the back knee will bend and your hand will come there. Your upper hand will go over your crown chakra so that you're sending chi, this rainbow chi. And we'll walk through the chakras. We'll walk through the colors of the rainbow. So we'll start with the red, which is our root chakra, the grounding, the stability. And stepping into the orange, the water of our sacral chakra, the fluidity and creativity center, and into yellow or golden, our solar plexus, the fire element, our manifestation, and into green, the heart chakra, love, gratitude, appreciation, compassion, and into blue. I was in a blue mood today. Blue is the throat chakra, speaking our truth with compassion and grace. And into that indigo violet, the deep blue violet, that is our third eye, our intuition, our introspection, that looking inward to the unity and divinity of all life. And then finally into violet, the crown chakra, our connection to the cosmos. And this, then you drop your hands down. They pass by your knees. As you squat down, your hands come up through the center and we separate the clouds. Your hands face out as you're slowly allowing your hands to drop to the side. Again, you can scoop down, your hands cross at your knees, and you come up through the center. So you can come up with your hands in prayer, and then as they get to the top, we separate, separating the clouds. How your hands come up the center, your Qigong, that is up to you. And it's up to you if you want to stoop down and allow them to come. See, some people like their hands facing them. And your eyes can follow your hands up. And then as you separate, your palms face outward. As you're lifting up always, it's the inhale. And then the separating is the exhale. Again, never rushing. We'll see if we can do the magic of last week, where we were able to separate the clouds. By the end of the class, the sun came out. But you're also separating the clouds. It is separating those metaphysical clouds that we create in our mind, the illusion, our emotions, the dramas we create, and just let them go. And just allow peace and stillness and the calmness to abide. We'll do one more. So going up through the center and then separating the illusions that we create. And you can do another one or two, or you can pause after this one. So pausing after every two is really nice. You can put your hands on your heart and just abide in peace. The Sanskrit word for peace is shanti. So you can just stay in peace, or you can just repeat shanti, shanti, or peace. Then we transition into the carrying the silk. So our hands come to the level of our waist, and the movement is in our waist as we're turning. Our waist is turning, our hands are really just going up and down as we're carrying the silk ball. So it is a ball of chi. You will eventually, if you don't already, feel the connection of the chi between your two hands. And you have your eyes closed or just unfocused. Your head is just going to move with your body as you're turning from side to side. The top hand is pushing, but it's not really moving as it's pushing. And the lower hand is facing upward. So it's holding or receiving. And it's called carrying the silk. So you can imagine a silk cloth. And again, some people like to really get their arms involved, but you then lose that sense of chi that's just there. So we're practicing that stillness, that we don't have to be about big movements. You can go as slow as you want. You're moving with the breath, knowing the instructions. They're very specific breathing instructions, but just allow your breath to be what it is. And your ball of chi or your silk cloth of chi can be whatever colors you want. And then the next move that we're going to transition into is the rowing. And so your hands are going to drop down and then you're going to bring them up over your back. So we go from a really simple movement to this big expressive movement. And we're rowing or swimming across the sea of samsara. It's a Pali Buddhist word for the illusion. So the full movement is kind of like the butterfly stroke in some ways, and your hands come down past your knees. You're squatting down, so they're coming on the outside of your knees, and you're scooping behind you. You're pushing the illusion behind you. You can also keep it really simple. It's the intention in your mind that you're swimming through the illusion, swimming into your true nature, that oneness, the divinity and unity of all. And when you reach the other side, we'll pause for a moment. You can place your hands at your side loosely, or you can place them on your heart. And just see what the view is from this side. Now we've swam through the illusion. Is it more peaceful? More serene? Calmer? The stillness. So our next one is lifting the sunrise. So one hand comes in front and scoops up the water, and we turn to the side and we look at that hand, and then we switch to the other side. So you're doing like you're scooping up water, and then you're looking at the palm of your hand. Your fingertips are maybe the level of your eyebrows, your third eye, and you're staring, you're gazing at the palm of your hand with your third eye, with the Buddha eye. That gaze is actually, at Lao Gong, the worker's palace. Your back hand is going over your lower back, although it can also just hang out however you're feeling it. So there is a gate in our lower back called Ming Men. And so that back hand is just gently protecting that gate. So it's in the just above your sacrum, I guess, be the easiest way. Your body is turning from side to side. So you may have noticed that. And so you're scooping down, you're bending, and as you turn, the back foot is straight, the back leg, the back knee is straight, and you're on the toes. So you're bending and you actually are pivoting on those back toes, which would be the same side. So like right now I'm on my right side. I'm looking at my right hand and I've pivoted so I'm on my right toes. So there is a scooping down and lifting up. And when I had learned this, the image that he gave is that you're scooping a gem in the water and then staring at the gem in your hand. But it's also looking at the sunlight. So I like to do this Qigong. I do it in the morning at sunrise time. And like to look at the light of the new day through my fingertips. And don't worry so much that I have to start on my left or I have to start on my right. Just whatever side you start on. And then we transition into two hands. So the feet are still the same, but your hands are pointing, your palms of your hands are facing each other through the whole movement. And you're staring at the moonlight. So there is a scooping down and then a lifting up as you gaze at the moonlight through the palms of your hands. You don't have to do the scooping. You can just go from side to side really gently or swaying. Your hands will drop down and then lifting up. So as you're lifting, that's always the inhale. And as you're scooping down, well, I'm not quite sure. There's a transition in there. So I guess don't get too caught up in the breathing. Just allow it to flow. And then we'll pause after those two, or you can do that one a few more times, gazing at the moonlight, the peacefulness, the stillness, the silence. The order that you do these in doesn't matter, but in the video, we'll be doing them in the order I remember. And so the next one is the lotus leaves. And so this is, again, your hands are at the level of your waist, your elbows, and one hand, whatever hand ends up forward, you're twisting your body, and whatever hand ends up forward is gonna reach out and grab very gently a lotus leaf. So as you reach out, your palm turns down and you're going to turn your fingers, pinky finger first, and you bring it back with a loose fist. So your pinky finger is going around the lotus first, and you're pulling it in. And you can do just, you're gently turning your waist. And you don't have to reach out, but you can. Allowing yourself that permission that it is your practice. So you're just gently, the lotus is considered the most beautiful flower in Buddhism. And so our chakras are the 7 lotuses blossoming. A lotus seed can survive thousands of years. It needs the mud to blossom. And so there's a famous saying, no mud, no lotus. And so the lotus is this beautiful, most graceful flower, and its roots are deep in the mud. Yeah, it has this gorgeous, and you're just gently gathering it in your fist. And then we'll do one more. And this is going to, you can also, I've mentioned this before, it is traditionally done keeping it at your waist. I have seen it is your practice, so find your expression. If you're feeling your heart needs the lotus, you can definitely pull it in to the lotus, to your heart chakra. And then we transition into cloud hands. So the top Again, your arms are moving with your body, so it's a waist movement. So your arm is moving with the waist, and the top one drops down. And then as you come back, whichever direction you're turning, that's the hand that's up. And then you transition. So your hands are really staying about midline. The hand that is up is palm facing you, and you're looking at the clouds. So your hands are like clouds. And again, they're just turning with your body. And the lower hand traditionally is palm down, but some people have the palm, can be however you're feeling it. The hand that's up, the palm is towards your face as you're gazing, allowing these clouds of our thoughts to just pass by, not attached to them. You're gazing at them. And then you can play with that, or you can pause. Pausing in the stillness, the peace, as we've let go of all those clouds and thoughts. I said, check the time. All right, so our next moves are the ones that we do to each side. So we first will do several to the left. So I step to the left first. Again, it doesn't matter. So you step maybe a 45-degree angle and you scoop the water. So you bend forward as much as you're able, scooping the water, and then you bend back and you allow this cleansing, healing water to shower you. And so as you bend forward, the front knee bends, the back knee is straight. You scoop up this healing water. And as you go back, the back knee now is bent, front leg is straight, and you actually are up on your heel. And so that would be the full movement. And it's just hard to see on the screen. We'll do one more on this side. So scooping up, this is healing, cleansing water. So we're giving ourselves a chi bath. Visually, it might look like on the outside, but remember it enters the crown chakra. So you come back to the center and you step forward on the other side. So whichever foot you step forward with as you're scooping the water, you can go all the way to the ground, or you can just gently leaning forward. It's all in your intentions. Your breath is just naturally flowing with you. And again, if there's somebody in your life who's in need of these healing, cleansing waters, you can have a clear image of them. You just have to think of their name or just envision their face smiling, feeling the cleansing, the healing nature. And we step forward again on the other side, and this time we're pushing the waves. So this is again where our elbows are around our waist, and the movement is the rocking back and forth on your feet. The elbows are not really moving that much. Your hands push the wave with your body, and then your arms just drop at the elbows and come back up around. Then you're pushing your palms forward, your front knees bent. And then as you drop back, you're just rocking back, your back knees bent, your front foot lifts up on the heel. You can do that. Again, you're in this healing water now, at least waist deep. You can be as deep as you want. And there's these gentle waves. You're rocking back and forth. And as we rock back, we transition to the other side. And the foot placement Should just be natural. If it doesn't feel good, then move your foot so it feels good. Um, and you don't have to move a lot. You can just drop your hands and just gently rocking back and forth in these healing waters. You can keep doing the healing waters. You can come back to center again. Taking a few breaths in the stillness. Allowing the peace to abide within. And then we'll step with our foot again, whatever your lead foot was. And this is the dove. So you're scooping chi in to your chest. So your arms are opening at the level of your chest. You're rocking forward and you scoop in as you go back. So the instructions have you that we would do it 3 to 5 to 9 times on one side. You're scooping up all this healing chi from around you. And then you would come back in and you would step with the other foot. Just rocking back and forth, scooping up chi, scooping up the peacefulness, the stillness that nature has. And if you like, when I do this outside in my garden, I actually turn and scoop the chi from all the directions. You can scoop from the ground, my Valentine flowers, from all around. My teacher would just have us go outside sometimes and just do this one. And so we were in this beautiful old growth area. And so just doing this one when you find a place, it's just beautiful. And then from the dove, we go to the happy dragon coming out of the water. So your hands are at your waist, palms up, and you curl them into a loose fist. Your knees are bent if you want the full expression, just very gently. You can bend them as much as you want, and you're going to punch out with one hand and then bring it back in. And so our fists are called the dragon traditionally in the martial arts, but it's a happy dragon coming out of the water. And so sometimes we need the fist motion to get rid of some pent up, not so peaceful thoughts. But if you're feeling the peace, you can feel the joy that comes with peace and the happy dragon. And it's a very slow, meditative move. Your arms do extend, but they don't have to extend far. And so the happy dragon, it gives these fist punching a very different image than what it's traditionally taught. So from the dove, we went to the happy dragon, and that dragon is going to take flight and become a phoenix or an eagle. And so this is an extremely expressive one. The full expression, you're going to bend down, your hands again come in front of your knees. And then as you lift up, you're on your toes, your hands come above your head. And yeah, that would be the full expression. So you're squatting down, your hands actually cross at the wrists in front of your knees, and you're taking flight. You can be whatever you want as you are flying, and you're spreading peace. You are just flying above the world, flying above the solar system. You can fly wherever you want for the next minutes as we do this. So it's eagle takes flight, but you can again. And you don't want to ever do anything that's going to cause any kind of injuries. So it's all in your intention. So if your eagle's only lifting the arms slightly, that's okay too. The exhale is always on the down. You're taking a big inhale as you lift up, your hands coming above your head. And then a transition as you exhale, as you come down and squat. I'll do one more and then I'm going to pause. We're going to pause. You can do a few more if you want to keep flying and sending peace, or you can just pause and abide in the peace within. Seeing how you feel that is different from how when you first started. Is your breath slower? Is it more even? Is your heart rate slower? Are your thoughts lower, more even, joyful, and peaceful? All right, so we have 3 more. And so the next one is the windmill, I believe he calls it. You're going to turn your hands, your palms. You can do it as your palms facing each other, would be the easiest way to do it. And you're just making gigantic circles with your arms. So that is the idea. We do one direction first, and then we do the other way. When I learned this form, this shows up in other forms, and so I always learn going up first. How I think of this one is the prayer wheel. So in Tibetan Buddhism, they have these ginormous prayer wheels, and then we change directions. If you like, the full movement of this is your body moves with your arms. So you actually will drop your head and allow your eyes can follow your hands. Some people, that's going to make them really dizzy. So you can just do it in the arm motion. And you can allow your legs to sway a little bit with it. It's your expression. But in Tibetan Buddhism, there's these ginormous prayer wheels when you enter into a monastery that you can spin, sending blessings of peace to all. And so when I do this one, I never envision myself turning the prayer wheel. I am the prayer wheel. So turning around and just pausing for a moment. So you do it a number of times in one direction and then going in the other direction. And again, if your shoulders aren't allowing the movement, just do it with your hands. The intention is there. Then we move into, we're going to take steps. So the key is it's opposite hand and foot. That's really important. So whatever what your arm is going to be doing this, where it's just coming up, and then your other hand comes up. So it's constantly moving as the one's hand's coming up, the other one's going down. And they're just, it is like you're a puppet, a marionette, and your hands are being moved by the cosmos. And then the movement in your legs is like you're the marionette. It's opposite hand and leg. Your knee comes up if you're able to. You're standing on one foot all the way so it's parallel to the ground. Again, it's a marionette. So somebody is lifting your knee and you actually bend as you go down. This is a really tough one for most people. When I learned this form, I had already been studying Qigong for over 20 years, and the form that I do, you stand on one foot for several minutes, several different times. And so I had learned how to balance. My teacher said this is one of the most important moves in the whole thing. It's opposite hand and foot. He never really corrected anybody. He allowed everybody to find their flow, except in this one, if somebody was not doing opposite hand and foot. So wherever your balance is, if you can only lift up to your toes, and so just start there. So you feel the motion going back and forth. If you're in a chair, this one's probably really nice because you can lift up. And so play with it. So there's different names for this one. The one name is bouncing the ball. So I don't know who came up with that name, but I guess they were saying it's like you're bouncing a basketball. But I'm sure when he taught this, he said, you are walking through a garden, the illusion. So again, you're walking through samsara, the illusion. You're walking out of it. So you're taking these ginormous steps very gently so that you don't disturb anything. And just having taught this form to many people, most people struggle with this one. And that's often an indication of the one you want to work on. It's very simple. Again, your hands are just coming up. And so initially, don't need to lift your leg the whole way up. Your foot is loose and it's just coming along. You're a puppet. So you want to get to where it's just very loose movements. And then that transitions again. I think I remember it being that we're walking through samsara, the garden, and we get to the most beautiful, fragrant part of the garden. And the last movement is called gathering the fragrance, just checking the time, the fragrance of the earth. So you're going to scoop down as far as you're able. You can just scoop a little bit, or if you want to go all the way to the ground again, and you're gathering the fragrance of the earth into like the basket of your hands, and you lift it as high as, I don't know, maybe your throat, maybe your heart. And you're opening your hands and you're taking a deep inhale of the fragrance of the earth. So we're not going all the way up like this. We're just bringing it to here and inhaling the fragrance. And then we allow our hands to drop down and then we gather again. So we're gathering a bouquet of flowers in our hands. And then we're taking a deep inhale and inhaling that fragrance, this beautiful fragrance. You can pick your favorite flower. You can go through all different ones. I think the image on the handout that I sent you all was of Pooh, Winnie the Pooh, gathering flowers and smelling them. Because Winnie the Pooh for me is just always so joyful. And it's a slow movement. And so you are inhaling as you're going up, but you want to have enough of that inhale that you can take an even more deeper inhale when you reach the top. And then your hands just come down and then you gather again. And these are you're gathering blessings. So you're inhaling the blessings, and then you just let them go on the wind, just gently. So sending. So we'll gather blessings of peace. Peace within and without. And serenity. Just inhaling that serenity. And the stillness. Stillness within. The fragrance. What is the fragrance of peace? You can ponder that as you gather another bouquet of the earth. If you really want the smell of the earth tonight when it starts raining, when we've had dryness and it rains again, that you sometimes can smell that wonderful fragrance of the earth beyond the flowers and stuff. And we'll do one more. And again, you can do gentle moves. You can just go to here, or you can do a big move and gather a big bouquet. And then just allow those blessings of peace and serenity and stillness. And we'll pause before we do our closing. Knowing now that you do have that peace within. And so you have peace without. And then, just because we're in a class and I have a time limit, you can, on your own practice, do these in any order you want. But in the closing, we put our hands together in prayer pose, and we just rub until you feel a warmth. And that's the chi. And then we're going to place them as little cups over our eyeballs. So these are like little cups of chi. And we're absorbing the chi into our eyes. Our eyes are our dominant sense, and we're just allowing them to rest. And then you can massage around your eyes. You start with your pinky at the inner corner of your eyebrow on that bone above your eyes. And you just massage going around. There's little holes or foramen or dents that you'll eventually fill, and your fingers will just know where to go. That are acupuncture and acupressure points. And then you get to the inside of your eyes, and then you massage your face. You're massaging your face with chi. So our hands have gathered so much chi. Traditionally, it's 3 times. But you can do whatever. You don't have to count. And then your fingertips are going to massage the top of your head, your hair, as you go over the top and down around. Our scalp has so many acupressure points. Down behind your neck, there's a point under your ears called Anmyan. That is restful, peaceful sleep. And then we're bringing our hands back in front of our heart in prayer position. You can keep them in the prayer position, or you can place them on your heart, abiding in that peace. And then you can stay there, or because you have gathered all this chi and your hands are active, if you have a part of your body that needs extra loving, healing chi, you can put your hand there. If you know somebody who is in need of healing, you can place your hands on that part of the body, so lower back, You can also keep them at your heart and send the intention to that part of your body or another person. Sending peace to the cells. And your cells are sending peace back. They are so happy. And then we finally, our fingertips point towards each other as we place them over our eyes. Very gently massage our eyes 3 times from the inside, from our nose tip to the outside. And on the third one, you'll slowly open your eyes, opening back to today, to where we are. Our hands back together in prayer position. As the divine within me bows to the divine within you, you can bow. The tip of your fingertips touches your third eye. And we say namaste.